so good to see your face.
It's good to see you.
In this crazy year.
I know, what a year it's been.
Dude, we have something very fun to do today.
Yes, we do.
Which is that we're gonna watch each other's pre-screen videos for the University of Michigan's musical theater program and see what we recover from that.
I'm so terrified.
When's the last time you watched your pre-screens?
I haven't. Like, it's been so long. I think the last time I watched them was maybe like freshman or sophomore year. We had like a pre-screen watching party. When was the last time you watched yours?
I mean, yeah, I haven't seen them in like 2-3 years. So we'll see.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Lots has changed since then. For sure.
A lot has changed.
Yeah. Could you tell us a little bit of what you've been doing this year?
Yeah.
Aside from obviously quarantining.
Yes, so quarantining right now from my home in Cincinnati, Ohio with my mom. But we finished filming the Prom for Netflix. And so that's gonna be out soon. And that's what I've been up to this year. Yeah, pretty much that's it.
So you're in Ohio with your mom?
I'm in Ohio with my mom. It's
That's
good.
so nice.
I know, it's like, it's the first time I've been talking to a lot of people, and it's like the first time that a lot of, me and my friends are staying at home for an extended period of time since like high school. And so it's, it's fun to, learn how to live with your mom again. I feel like I'm becoming a better roommate towards her. I'm doing more of my dishes, and I'm just really enjoying spending time with our dog and our cat. Yeah, but it's good. Not much is happening over here. Yeah. It's really made me think about like all of the things that I did in high school, that surely doing that amount of stuff at this point and the quarantine, like that's crazy. Like, first of all, waking up at like 7 a.m. every day, often earlier, 6 o'clock usually, and then like having a full day of school, and then going to like a dance class or a play rehearsal, like that's crazy. Oh my gosh.
And like SAT prep and like all of this like research papers and
oh my gosh. Like
it was madness.
It really was. I have so much respect for all the high schoolers who are navigating that now, like
Truly.
with Zoom and virtual and all of that. Like I want to know like what's gonna happen to all of the high school musicals.
I just want a lot of like Zoomography.
Oh my gosh. A Zoom musical with high schoolers, that needs to
Maybe
happen.
I'll career pivot to Zoomographer and just do a lot of like.
Honestly, it's such a skill, like learning where to look and all of that.
So you're senior year, you're in Ohio, you're in high school, and you're like, I want to audition for theater schools, and now you have to make this pre-screen video. How did you feel about it, and how did you like get your shit together to make this thing?
Oh my gosh, it was honestly so stressful. I feel like that's sort of like a universal feeling. And I just knew somehow I did all of like the planning on my own. My mom really was like not involved in like the planning of it, but I was the one who I remember I had to rent out a certain like space and like hire an accompanist and get all the sheet music prepped, and then also like this was I think before, so I auditioned, so I graduated high school in 2014, so I was auditioning like in the fall of 2013, and that was I think before people started using iPhones as, ways to film. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I have to get like a camcorder or like a real like film thing. And I don't even know like how somehow I must have like borrowed a friend's, I guess, camcorder, or some kind of video camera and to shoot this. But it was a combination of like lots of different venues, and like the video that we're gonna watch, this was shot in an artist warehouse in Cincinnati, and it was like there was like carpet on the ground, like just like drapes, and it's where I took acting classes, and it's just the funniest location for a pre-screen because I'm like in my jewel tone dress and nude heels and on carpet, just like getting a monologue. Oh my gosh.
The jewel tone dress and the nude heel, you need it. You legally can't audition if you're not wearing a jewel tone dress.
There needs to be a dissertation and like some like sociological study on the effects of wearing a jewel tone dress and nude heels for like every single weekend your senior year, and like what that does to your brain. Because it was, oh my gosh, it was like a uniform.
Yes.
Everyone wore them. I think it was like maybe my Michigan audition, I decided I was gonna wear something else, and so I decided I would wear a blazer and pants. I know. And I felt like a new person so highly recommend.
That's fierce.
Switching it up, wear whatever you want. Yes. What did you wear?
Dude, I feel that so hard. Well, I mean, you'll see in the video, but I did go with like a jewel tone dress with like a square neckline, and like my little tidbit of I'm gonna switch it up was that I wore black tights with black boots.
Ooh,
with my dress.
She's versatile.
So it was like a little edgy.
I love
Yeah.
that. Or I feel like I want to hear like more about like how did you make it work for your pre-screen?
Well, I also I think like the iPhone quality of, I did not have a smartphone, I'm pretty sure. I think my mom did, but it was still like the iPhone quality was not up to speed. So my friends told me like, oh, you should hire a wedding photographer because like they have, you know, the best equipment in town. So I just like set up a meeting with this wedding photographer, and I was like, hey, I'm not getting married, I just need you to like set up a tripod and film me. And I did it on the stage of my high school auditorium, so it was like a black velvet curtain and then me in my red ass dress, and I think the lighting in the black tights. And the hilarious thing is that my like acting coach ended up using me as an example of what not to do, because the background was so dark it like swallowed me. And like my hair is black, like it literally looked like a little egg in red.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait to watch this now.
Crazy. But yeah. Okay, let's do it. I'm dying. Do you wanna do you first?
Okay, should I?
Well, I'll go first.
Okay.
I'll go first. So we're gonna watch our monologue pre-screens, which I haven't seen in 7 years, and it's gonna be cringe-tastic.
It's gonna be amazing.
This is honestly very brave of us to be doing this live on television. Also, your hair looks adorable.
Thank
I love
you.
it.
Thank you so much. Alright, just count me down. Let me know when.
And play.
My name is Aline Mayagoitia, and this is a monologue from Carla Boy by Stephen Perros. I told you!
Highlights.
I've never had any men in my life. Not for real. Well, haven't you heard, genius? I have every American male wishing he could sleep with me. You know I do. I can see it in your eyes. The camera is not some mechanical monster to me. It's like some funnel to pour myself through.
This limp arm.
No, that sounds silly, but that's what it
I'm
feels like every
living
time
for
I
this. What are you talking about?
softly,
Someone told me don't do anything with your arms, and I followed their advice.
softly,
Honestly, what do you do with your arms?
What do you?
and then 50 rows back.
Love the little lip bite right there. It's so good.
I don't know. Sometimes I wonder if I could ever
Oh my
impress
God,
a
this
man
is
in real life
sexy.
the way I do on that screen.
I
I'm just looking for it to be right, that's all. When the man is looking at me and not some pinup poster all perfectly lit and touched up. I know it sounds crazy, but I want a man to fall in love with everything that's ugly about me, and then I'll know he's the right one. You know what I mean?
Ah.
Aline!
Wow.
You
Pleased
made
with
me
herself
feel
at the end.
feels. Oh my gosh!
Thanks, dude.
Dude! Oh my, that's the example of what to do in a monologue pre-screen. Because like, I mean, monologues are so inherently awkward anyway, because you're not really connecting to someone, but you made me feel that you were. You were feeling something. You could do that. Round of applause.
Oh, thanks. Honestly, it's so funny when you like pick a piece at that time that I was like, I know this. And now I like looking back, I'm like, you did not know what you were talking about. But like, I think what matters is just like, if it calls to you in the moment, that'll cut through.
Oh, absolutely. And you could tell that you had a connection to that piece.
Yes, I did. I had a connection to that dress.
Oh my god. And it was a great dress. You looked amazing.
I love that dress. I hope you could, I wish you could see my like little legs that just disappeared, like if the frame was bigger.
Oh my god, I want to see that.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna do a lot of these pre-screen videos, so you know, hopefully we'll share that. All right.
Should we do my monologue?
Let's do it.
Okay.
My body is ready.
All right. So let me just pull it up on Dropbox. Hey Mom, I'm filming a video. Oh my gosh. Ah! So guys, this was in an artist warehouse in Cincinnati. It's like those are probably either like sheets or like drapes that are, you know, in there. I did this on carpet.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's a Target jewel tone dress. And I think like my hair is pretty much the same actually, which is funny.
But the half updo.
Oh yes, the half up, half down, like classic.
If you don't grab your hair back off your face, like, are you even acting? No.
Really? Are you, like, you could not have even, like, a risk of, like, a stray hair falling into the face and them being like, well, we couldn't see her, so.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's so funny. I mean, this is all good things to do. I know we're, like, making fun of it, but also, yes, like, do what you're comfortable with, and if you're, like, worried about your hair going like this.
Oh, absolutely.
Do what you need, girl.
Absolutely.
Like, live your dreams.
All right. Press play in 3, 2, 1.
And this is a monologue from the Children's Hour by Lillian Hellman.
Sit.
Maybe you do believe me, but I'd never know whether you did, and your saying it again won't do it. And it doesn't even matter anymore whether you do believe me. All I know is that I'd be frightened you didn't. That's the way it would be. We'd be hounded by it. You don't get over things by just saying you do. I don't believe you could touch my arm without my wondering why you didn't kiss me. And I don't believe you could kiss me without my wondering if you really wanted to. And I hate myself for that.
She's dropped in.
Then I hate you too.
She's
don't be sorry. Go away for a little while.
The hand
Away
acting.
from me and love and pity and all the things that mess people up in this world. And then
Also, these shoes look very, like, geometric, and I love that.
thank you.
Yeah, I'm like, where did I get the shoes? But also, this is bringing back memories because I remember this is the monologue that I did for my Michigan audition. And like Mark Madonna like worked with me on it. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Such a small baby.
I love
And
it.
also like it's filmed from so far away. I feel like nowadays, like with self-tapes, you know, we're used to like really being able to see like, you know, see someone's eyes, and we just didn't know back then.
Yeah. It's also funny because I feel like, at least me filming a self-tape at that time, I was like, I am mimicking what happens in the audition room, which is that you are seeing my full body because I'm like 8 feet away from the table.
Right.
I mean, especially at the Michigan audition, like, Professor Wagner was like, you cannot be close to the table. Like, you are far away.
Yes.
And yeah, like, I haven't done a tape professionally where you see my full body the whole time. Obviously, if it's like a dance thing. But it's always like, yeah.
Same. But that's, you know, that's so true. We filmed it the way we thought we would be auditioning, and that's how we did audition. Oh my gosh.
But it, like, I don't know, it just cuts through because you can see, like, you care about this character and you're, like, in it, and the hand acting kills me, and it's just so good. I love her.
Oh my gosh. I put her, you know, angst into the hands.
Yes, she did. So who did you work this material with? Like, how did you coach it?
I feel like monologues, they you know, they seem so daunting, but it's actually like anyone can do it. Anyone can memorize the text and go in there and, you know, just pretend like you're talking to someone. It's honestly like the biggest piece of advice I feel like I can give. It's just like, you know, who you're talking to, just have a conversation. It doesn't have to be a big performance. You don't have to show your anxiety with your hands.
If you had to do this today, like today was like, you have to make a pre-screen video, how would you do it? Like at your house right now?
Oh gosh, I would probably like film it kind of how I'm filming like this right now, I think. And I would probably, I don't know, pick a favorite play, or I would, you know what I would do? I would like source to all of my friends who like really know plays really well, and I'd be like, hey, I'm doing this, can you like give me any recommendations? and I would, go find a monologue from something they suggested, and I would use my little phone, and I would film it like this, I think. I don't know. I'm a big fan of like crowdsourcing and like ask your friends, because like they probably know of a monologue or a play or something that you might not know, and they can like suggest something for you if that's right for you. And they also, I don't know, you can ask them for advice, and it's not like you have to hire a coach or anything.
Yeah. I also feel like the people that you are peers with in an acting way, like your theater class friend, knows the stuff you're working on, and they end up coaching you very well, because like they know what your teachers have been like, pushing you to do, and also because they know you as people more than your teachers ever will, obviously, can like kind of personalize it in a way that
right.
I feel like, I don't know, I've just enjoyed so much in the real world coaching with my roommates and best friends, because they're like, last week when you were really mad about this, just do that. And I'm like, oh, cool.
Yeah, and you can be like their biggest cheerleader and their biggest fan. I often find, like, whenever I'm helping out my friends with self-tapes, like, I think they're amazing, and I can only add just, little sprinkles if they want advice, but honestly, and I feel like I'm the most comfortable when I'm with my friends, as opposed to like a coach that I just met. So I'm a firm believer that like every single person knows good acting, because we all like watch really great TV, we watch really great movies, like we like hopefully like watch really great theater. And so like even your friends, and I find often like my mom is not, because I do a lot of self-tapes with my mom, and she is so easily able to tell like when I'm either feeling something or not, or like that didn't feel real, or like even though like she like never studied theater, she's watched a lot of like theater that I've been in, or she's watched a lot on TV, so she knows what is good and what's not so good. And so she can just be like, no, like try something else on that, or like that, and that's so helpful, having just someone who I trust who can be like, let's try that again in a very low stakes environment. So use your parents for self-tapes.
Literally, use what you have.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a fierce red wall in your house, like, use that red wall.
Right?
I love it.
Thank you, Mom, for painting this red.
It's so good. Apparently, this year, all the college auditions are going to be virtual, which is, like, a little freaky-deaky, because we've never done that, and we all have to figure this out. But we've been talking about how this might be, like, kind of great in many ways. Like, saving money and traveling stuff, right?
Oh, I think this is going to be so great. And granted, like, there are always trade-offs, because, you won't be able to do, a lot of people who like to, audition at the schools to get a feel for the school, you won't be able to do that. And so it might make, like, the decision process harder when it comes time to, like, deciding which school you want to go to. But I think it's maybe the best thing that could have ever happened to the college audition process, because it eliminates the, like, travel barrier. You don't have to pay for any plane tickets to go audition. You don't have to worry about having your parents take off of work to come and like audition with you every single weekend. You also, like, one thing I do, like, it's a little bit agonizing, but also it's a great part of self-tapes, is that, like, you can do it until you feel like you nailed it. And so often in audition rooms, especially college auditions, like, I remember I would walk in, I would completely, like, not be able to remember, like, anything. I would be so nervous, and even though I planned to do, like, this, it just sort of goes out the window. And so it's just, they require different skills, but, like, you really can make your self-tape, like, the best representation of you as possible. And also, like, you can send in the same self-tape, or, like, parts of the same self-tape from many different schools, I'm guessing. I don't know, like, the exact specifics of the way they're doing it this year. And so I feel like it will, on the whole, be so much less stress and so much more equitable than the way the college audition process used to be.
Yeah.
So.
And I think finding a way to kind of focus on what are the pluses of video, like, for example, even just, like, if you are sending in singing videos, you can film that at 8 a.m., you can film it again the next day at 2 p.m., you can film it again the third day at 10 p.m., and your voice will sound very different depending on, every factor, and you can just say, like, cool, like, this is the best one, and, like, really kind of control for a lot of the stuff that, that 20-minute slot in Chicago in January would maybe not go your way that day, because you, like, yeah. I don't know, I think I think as different as this is, I'm very excited to see what the process does for the next classes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm excited too. I mean, I'm their biggest fan. Oh my gosh, anyone who's in high school right now navigating all of this, like, it's so impressive.
I feel like college I was really busy, but then still somehow high school was like busier.
Oh yeah, like every single minute of my day was completely packed with either school or studying or like trying to, film a pre-screen or something like that.
Even just like chores. Like I remember like coming home really late from doing a show and my mom was like, you gotta pick up the poop in the backyard. And I was like, pooper scoopering, like it's a lot. Mad respect for y'all at home, like seriously. Going through this process, and like if you love performing and acting so much and you're putting in the work, especially right now when the future is so uncertain, like that shit's gonna pay off.
Yes, it will.
Yeah. Oh, Joellen, you're wonderful.
Gosh, you're wonderful. Oh wait, I also, hold on, do you want me to, so I have the essay that I wrote for, the Michigan, okay, so I'll
yes.
explain. I haven't looked at it yet.
Okay, go for it.
So a part of, when we were auditioning, a part of the Michigan audition was you bring an essay to your audition, and it's considered as like a part of your, your whole package. And so I wrote this essay truly maybe the night before, maybe 2 nights before. Not great, not what you should do. And I just recently found it when I was like moving out of my old apartment, and I was like immediately saw it. I was like, I know what this is, but I didn't want to read it because I was like, I want to read this with Illumi. But it's just like probably a why Michigan essay. I'm actually not even sure. So without further ado.
Oh my god. Okay, great. Here we go.
Okay. Only time will tell if this event proves to be memorable because it happened tonight, February 12th, 2014. My audition date was February 14th, so it's 2 days before. Though it just ended a few hours ago, I haven't been able to think about much else but this choir rehearsal. I should preface this story by saying that while I consider myself an emotionally aware person, few events have the immediate impact on me like this one. It started out as a normal rehearsal with everyone sitting and talking quietly to each other. Most kids at my school are college-focused and highly driven. For better or for worse, I consider myself to be a product of my environment. Our conductor is no exception. As it is his first year at school, he put in the extra effort to assemble an after-school chamber choir and never waste any time in rehearsal. I was just getting over a cold and I had an audition this weekend. I'm ashamed at how whiny I sound, but I really did not feel like standing and singing for 2 hours after a bell of choir in the morning and an after-school voice lesson. So my friends and I decided to steer the chamber choir ship off its course by suggesting we have some group bonding. Most of us only knew each other based on name and parts sung, so this stall tactic was slightly necessary. Amazingly, our conductor agreed to allot the first 15 minutes of rehearsal to get to know each other, and we decided the topic of discussion would be defining moments in our lives. I'm still in awe at what ensued. Without hesitation, normally quiet kids began sharing turning points. A father's brain tumor, their own battle with alcoholism. They witnessed the birth of a niece through the union of a pet, the discovery of 7 siblings, and some didn't need to say anything at all. We snapped after every story, letting each person know that we hurt them. The boys were actually the ones who shared the most, telling story after story and occasionally crying. It was like this. Big typo. It was like this was the. Oh no, I was just reading it wrong. It was like this was the first time everything was allowed to come pouring out, free from judgment. This group therapy ended up taking the whole 2 hours, but I think it was our most productive rehearsal yet. I still don't know what to make of tonight. It probably does not seem like a big deal, but for private, perfectionist teenagers, getting this there as a group in an organized rehearsal was groundbreaking. Everyone was vulnerable, so no one was vulnerable. We had a tacit understanding that after every story, we would share snaps and everything would be okay. It was just one rehearsal, but it gave me just an inkling of what a real ensemble should feel like. It doesn't require anything more than a resolve to listen and a willingness to share. That was my essay.
Dude!
I was like, where's this going? It's very, but that's very sweet at the end. Very sweet.
That's beautiful. Yes.
I think it was like,
it's like
tell me about like a defining moment in your performing history or something like that.
But I think that's so smart because I think first of all, very much your personality, which I just really appreciate knowing you, but also, like, everyone's gonna write, like, when I finally got the lead in the school musical and beat out Jessica, and, you know, like...
And I was like, I knew everyone's gonna write about how the time they, like, forgot their line in the school play, but I was like, I want to write about when we all came together as an ensemble.
But, like, also, low-key, those are the moments that I will always remember the most of, like, obviously the college experience is, like, the 4 a.m. crying talks with my friends. And, like, the rehearsal bonding moments where you're just hanging out in, like, a random town doing a play, and you're just like, well, we're each other's family, and, like, you just bond so quickly. And that's, I think, why we all end up doing this and liking it, is because half the gig is getting really good friends out of it.
Exactly. And friends, what I think is so special is, like, friends that can either be, like, so meaningful in that moment, but you go separate ways, or sometimes you get lucky enough and they're, like, with you the rest of your life. And, like, both kinds of friendships that you make in this business are, or I love that we call it the business, but this reminded me, like, it used to, like, in this passion, this, like, absolute, like, art that we do, it's not so much a business, it's like, this reminds you, like, where we started from. We do this because we love it.
We love it. And it doesn't matter if you have a fancy-ass camera or a professional sound stage.
No,
you just gotta...
or like 1,000,001 coaches or all of that.
Exactly. Just find something you absolutely love and find a way to connect it, and then you share it. That's all you need.
Oh my gosh, Alina, I'm feeling all warm and fuzzy right now.
Me too! Great. This is great.
Well, thank you so much for inviting me to be a part of this. I love this series. Everyone should like and subscribe below. I've always wanted to do that. Honestly, I wish I had watched your videos when I was going through all this. Oh my gosh.
That's exactly my goal, is to make everything that I wish I could tell to our little baby selves and send them on their way. So that means a lot. Thank you. And yeah, you guys, watch The Prom on Netflix, coming to a Netflix near you. And follow Joellen on the gram.